Hello, Dota 2 fans. I'm Maurice Blazer, resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is another installment of The Summit 2, provided by Beyond the Summit, presented by G2A.com in partnership with 100TB.com. Thanks for joining me once again, guys. Looks like everyone's hopping into the lobby. Should have the game starting for you in about 6 or 7 minutes. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. And joining me today, we got two great matches. And finally, Cloud9 has come back to More Rage Please's Dota 2 stream. We got C9 up versus Secret. As you can see, both teams have not played a single match yet thus far in the qualifiers. So going to be a one with quite a bit of implications here. A really good matchup, of course. Two very high tier 1 teams here. So after that, we'll have C9 up against Fnatic's new squad. Most of old MYM absorbed by them, of course, with the likes of Rise, Ace, etc., etc. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. Looks like the players are joining up now. So I'll have the game starting for you in a couple minutes, guys. Thanks again for joining me. I am Maurice Blazer, resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, and we'll be back in a moment with the game. You ran away. Isn't it a beautiful loading screen, folks? I am Mark Space, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is another presentation of the Summit 2 Europe Qualifiers. Today we have Cloud9 versus Team Secret. So thanks again for joining me. I'm Mark Space, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. And we have a great game for you guys. This is the first game for both teams in the Europe Qualifiers of the Summit 2. A little bit beyond the schedule today. A little past the original start time, but we're going to get it started here, folks. Should hop into the draft momentarily. Finally been able to cast a Cloud9 game after a long period of waiting to do so. They've been playing a lot of lands that have been going on recently, and therefore not too much online stuff that I've been able to grab a hold of. But nonetheless, going to bring you this game. Should be a good one. Odds sitting at around 38% for C9 and 62 for Secret. Last time I checked on Dota2Lounge.com. Value bet for C9. If you threw your rares on them, definitely look to take this. This is a best of one, so could have a lot decided in the draft screen. Two very versatile teams in terms of the draft. I would argue that Secret is a little more versatile than C9, especially in this meta now that Terrorblade is Tickleblade. So unfortunate for Envy there. Hopefully I can get loaded in here pretty soon for you guys. The lobby did just open up when I joined in, so maybe a minute or two, but we'll get this all sorted out and started up for you. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Throw the stream a follow. Follow me on Twitter at MRP_Dota. You can also check out Healy Umbrella on the official twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit stream with Merlondo casting this one. So thanks for your support, guys. Thanks for joining me. Once again, this is the Summit 2 Europe Qualifiers presented by Beyond the Summit and G2A.com in partnership with 100TB.com. Looks like we're about to load in here, and we'll get the match underway. Cloud9 is playing with 4 stand-ins today, so easy game for Secret. Kappa. Everyone is here, so it looks to be a good one, folks. Thanks again for joining me. I am Morgan, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. And we're here for some Summit 2 coverage. Fata was streaming this morning in Germany, playing some puck. So we might look to see that pretty soon. Puppy pause before the game even starts. Blame Puppy, folks. We'll see how this draft goes. No, I don't need a broadcaster. I'm Maurice, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is a Cloud9 versus Secret in the Summit 2 Europe Qualifiers. Just going to turn the Dota sound down a bit, guys. It's a little high here. Overpower anything. So we'll see what Secret wants to do with that first ban. It probably won't be a Terrorblade, considering the nerfs to him in this recent patch. He had Metamorphosis nerfed quite a bit, as well as Illusions and Clairvoyance, as well as a lot of people. Actually, Terrorblade's still banned out, so Secret's still worried about the rat ability of Cloud9, as well as their 4 Protect 1 playstyle with Pilot Eye popularizing and mastering the tactical feed, of course. Magnus going to be the first ban, taking away a signature S4 hero from C9 and a signature Aoi 2000 hero. The best Visage in Pro Dota is going to be banned out here from Secret. So a lot of respect bans coming out early on. Both teams clearly have done their homework and know each other fairly well. These are all seasoned veterans at this point, so they're certainly familiar with each other's playstyles as individual players, if not as teams as well. So good stuff so far. Let me know, guys. I'll check chat periodically how the sound is. So we'll see what the next ban is here. Cloud9 eating into their reserve time a little bit. I was going to say before, Clairvoyance did call that Illusions would be nerfed fairly soon because of Cloud9's play and play like other teams like Vici and even Loda's play on the TB. Brew going to be the first pickup for Secret, something that they love to run on Fata. Pretty much picked him almost every game for Fata in ESL 1 New York on C9. So pick ban coming out here. Also a hero S4 is very capable on and very competent with. Of course, he's good on pretty much any mid hero. Never seen an S4 Shadow Fiend, but that's about the only one. DP going to be picked up for Fata here, though, so 2 strong early and mid gamers for both sides, especially mid game concentric heroes for sure. And Nat Diamond is going to be picked up here presumably for Piladai in the 5. We'll see what comes out later on, perhaps for Aoi. Usually Aoi goes a little bit more of a farm-oriented support, something like an Enigma, even a Witch Doctor, or of course the Visage. But Skywrath Mage picked up. Wisp is going to be the response from Team Secret. This is a hero, the IO, that they've run to great effect with Big Daddy playing it. And they've run Wisp Sven quite a bit. Of course, they can run the Wisp Tiny, but Kuroki, a very flexible carry player, as he's proven after his role switch post leaving Na'Vi. So Earthshaker was banned out by C9 before this pick phase. Forgot to mention that there. So good zoning support against the Death Prophet. Of course, has the leap ability once he gets his blink with that Echo Slam. So also not bad for the counter push with the long range of Fisher. So stable support banned out from C9 here. We'll see what the ban is. First ban in this second ban phase for Team Secret. A lot of heroes still available in the pool. Both sides going with a mid solo, presumably, and a 5 position support. So the drafts are still wide open for both teams. Fata's puck is going to be, or Bone 7's puck, I should say, is going to be banned out by Secret, as Fata is generally the one to play that Death Prophet. So Bone 7 obviously also a very capable puck player. I've seen him make plays that really, you could make an argument that he's the best offlaner in the world at times. Of course, Bone 7, one of the lesser consistent offlaners, some might argue. Universe certainly in the running for the best offlaner in the world at the current moment, I would have to say. Ice up there as well. Regardless, Bone 7 very capable. And the Sven ban does come out, as I had mentioned, from C9 to deny that pair up with the Wisp. So smart bans from both sides. They're basically banning player heroes, not so much strategies here. So EE's Naga Siren is going to be banned out here from Team Secret. Looks like they're not looking to take this game too late with the Brewmaster pickup and the likes of their bans in terms of Terror Blade and Naga Siren. So we'll see what C9 end up doing here with this last ban before the second pick phase. And they're going to eat into their reserve time a bit and look to probably eliminate another core here. I'm not sure that they're looking to eliminate the support. There certainly won't be so much roam with the IO on Secret's team. So Cloud9 may look to roam. They banned Puppy's Enigma, also a hero that Aoi likes to run, but clearly they're not willing to run that. They can pick up the Sand King here for Piladai and roam Sand King Skywrath with Piladai and Aoi on Sand King and Skywrath respectively. That's pretty strong early game, as well as up against a team who is running an IO. And of course, Piladai would be able to retreat into the jungle with the Sandstorm, pick up an 8 or 9 minute blink, and that would work out. So that's just a little bit of a prediction from me here, but they may not even pick up a support this early, and they do pick up Bone 7 Centaur here. So extremely strong roaming combo once the dagger comes out for Centaur is the jump into Hoofstomp double edge Ancient Seal combo, and even with an Arcane Bolt, sometimes a Mystic Flare is not even needed with all the magic damage increase from the Ancient Seal. Of course, at level 1, giving 30% increased magic damage. So very good value point is that Ancient Seal at level 1. Usually we'll see 4-1-4 in terms of the non-ultimate abilities for Skywrath, but some heroes or some players like to run him a little differently, maxing out the silence for a longer stun and longer duration, I should say. And of course, against the Brewmaster, Ancient Seal, very effective tool to try and burst him down. Of course, with the magic damage toolkit of the Centaur and the Skywrath, they will be able to burst the Brew down in a full duration Ancient Seal most often if they can get the jump and the initiation on him. So we'll see what the response is from Secret here in this second pick phase. They'll probably be going for a core here. Perhaps they pick up a support, but we will see what they grab for either a Puppy, Simba, or a Kuroki here. So Secret's been very versatile in their drafts. Probably one of the lesser predictable teams, or less predictable teams, I should say, they've been extremely flexible. Unfortunately, their run was cut short by Vici at ESL 1 by some black anti-mage play. They do pick up the Nature's Prophet, so definitely nothing that I would have predicted here. This could be a safe lane solo Nature's Prophet for Kuroki. I'm not sure that I've seen Fly play this Nature's Prophet all too often. He could even be a support. We've seen teams like EG run that here and there with the NP in the 4 position, retreating to the jungle, but I would assume that it's Simba playing this in the off lane. Simba is, of course, Fly from Fnatic, who changed his name, as well as Big Daddy is No Tail, who changed his name fairly recently as well. So I've seen Simba play a lot of heroes, especially the Doom, for Team Secret in the off lane, and often retreat to the jungle to find some farm after the lane has gone awry. So I could definitely see him on this NP. Helps with the global presence, adds together with that relocate gank. So and definitely something that they're going to want to be elusive for Secret, and they're going to want to find the jumps, because if they sit back and allow Bone 7 Centaur to get in. And they do pick up the Sand King C9. So the combo that I had mentioned earlier, a very strong roam combo here. So we're going to have Piladai on that Sand King, Aoi probably on the Skywrath, or vice versa. Of course, Aoi is the one liking to farm, so we may see Aoi on that Sand King with Piladai on the Skywrath, which he does play pretty often. And Bone 7 on the Centaur, very strong trio here is the Centaur, Sand King, Skywrath, and very standard. So nothing out of the box here from Cloud9, nothing too unorthodox, and something that certainly works, and something that is certainly very potent up against a Wisp who needs to get his relocate up. So that early ganking potential of Aoi and Piladai will be crazy good here. Mirana is going to be the pickup, however, from Secret, so perhaps a little counter initiation with the arrow. Mirana also couples well with the Wisp, with that attack speed as well as good range, scales well into the late game without having to throw herself into the midst of a battle, is still able to do quite a big amount of damage with a Mjolnir, and of course the overcharge from the Wisp. So I'm liking Cloud9's draft certainly in the early game, but if Secret is able to stave off their aggression and deter any of their movements until later on in the game, they will certainly be faring well with this Nature's Prophet, Mirana, and Brewmaster Tricore. Of course, Brewmaster, one of the heroes that falls off a bit, but Death Prophet does almost in the same manner. Probably lasts a little bit later into the game, probably starts falling off around the 35-minute mark for that Death Prophet. So we'll see what the final pick is for Cloud9. It's going to be an EE hero. They're going to ban out the Tiny. So they are assuming that either this NP or the Mirana, more likely the Mirana, is a support hero here, and they will ban out Kuroki's Tiny here. So interesting decision from C9 to consider one of these 3 potential cores a support, but definitely not totally unwarranted. Last ban going to come out here from Secret, and we'll see what they look to take out in this phase of the draft. They're definitely going to ban an EE hero here. Perhaps they ban out a Slark. Cloud9, they ban out the Legion Commander here. So they're anticipating that it could be a possibility of an EE Centaur with the Bone 7 offlane Legion Commander. But we will see what ends up happening here. I wouldn't mind seeing a Slark from C9 for EE. They ran it to great effect in I believe it was versus EG when they had a Treant Protector pickup with the Darkseer draft there in ESL 1. Wouldn't mind that pickup at all. I don't think Slark was touched too much in the patch. I'd have to confirm that for you guys, but 30 seconds of reserve time still here for Cloud9, so they'll be just fine in terms of having time to make this decision. And they'll pick up an AM for Magic Be Dashed for EE here. So Eternal Envy Sama going to compete with Black here for some serious farm. And of course, with the Blink ability and the Mana Void is very good up against that Nature's Prophet. I think Fly is going to have a terrible time on this NP unless they relegate him to support this game with the jump-ins from Centaur, Sand King, AM. Even the Yules up from the Death Prophet on Fata is going to be really rough for Secret. I'm loving C9's draft so far, guys. If they're able to do some work in the early game. Of course, Anti-Mage is not a hero that wants to fight early on too much, but is pretty good And PA going to be the final pickup here. So it is going to be a Puppy Marana for Secret. Kuroki on the PA with the Wisp. Definitely a very good combo. Going to force EE into an MKB. However, the issue with this is there's tons of magical damage on C9. And we saw EG draft that PA into the Brewmaster. I believe it was also a Sand King. But the Brewmaster with the Ion Shell for sure for EG in ESL1. And we saw Cloud9 wreck Arteezy's PA. Just because they had such a large amount of magical damage. So not sure a huge fan of this PA pick. Definitely, as I mentioned before, if they are able to scale into the late game, we are looking good with basically what is a quad core now for Secret. Marana will eventually scale, perhaps building into that phase drums early on. Mech, of course, going to have to be picked up here either by Nature's Prophet or the IO. For Secret, and they're going to need one early game to survive and stave off this aggression from C9. So we'll introduce the teams, guys. We've got Cloud9 versus Team Secret in the Summit 2 Europe qualifiers. I'm Maurice, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. As you can see, this is the Demonic Essence HUD, courtesy of Beyond the Summit. So if you haven't already, grab up your ticket, guys. It's $10, $9.99 USD on the Dota 2 store. Comes with, of course, the compendium and quite a lot of stretch goals that I don't have time to talk about right now. Bone 7 on the Centaur War Runner in the offlane for C9. Pilot Eye playing up on that Sand King, as I had mentioned early in the draft. EE on the Anti-Mage here. Aoi 2000 on the Skywrath, and Fata on the mid Death Prophet. 5-man movement from Secret through the Dire jungle here. S4 going to be playing the mid Brewmaster. Big Daddy on his Wisp. Puppy on the Marana. Simba on the Nature's Prophet. Arrow going to fly here. It's going to land on Pilot Eye. If we have an early tactical feed, it seems that we will blink in from Arteezy with the Wisp increase. And that's first blood going the way of Kuroki. Sorry, Arteezy. Kuroki on the PA. I was just talking about Arteezy's PA there. So they are able to get down one sentry here. And they will be able to de-ward this, as well as grab their Rune Ward up. So nice early play from Secret. It is Kuroki getting the first blood. That's exactly the hero they would want. They block up 2 camps here, a large camp as well as medium camp here blocked up. They're going to body block another camp with this Trien. So really going to hinder Pilot Eye's ability to retreat into the jungle. Blocking 2 camps here is Fly. Well played by him. So we are going to have a solo Brewmaster perhaps in the bot lane up against the Centaur War Runner. Bone 7 should have a good time here. Puppy has an invis. He's going to scout things out, at least check out the lanes here. Aoi is going towards the top with a defensive try, highlighting EE's anti-mage here. So we'll see how this mid matchup goes here. Arrow flying out, and it's going to hit Fata in the mid. Jump in from Kuroki. Will they have enough damage? Few more right clicks. No spirits, of course, from Big Daddy, leveling up the tether here. But with that movement speed, they will pick off Fata early. Nice play by Puppy in the mid lane. And Kuro already starting 2-0 on this Phantom Assassin. Very dangerous for C9 here. However, of course, they do have a very strong early roaming combo that can come and find the Wisp or Kuro in this mid lane. So Bone 7 gonna have a good time up against S4. S4 not gonna do poorly here either. He's already used the Hoof Stomp and has leveled his return. So take a look at EE in the top lane. They're gonna harass out Simba a little bit. He's gonna do some damage with his Treants. Lane gonna be pulled back in the mid from Big Daddy. He's already stacked. Nope. Has he? No, he hasn't. Thought he was already able to stack a camp there, but they pulled the lane back. They're gonna deny that creep. They had to Fata looking to last hit with a Crypt Swarm here. Puppy doing some de-warding perhaps in the jungle. Just picks up a clarity. Was looking to find out Bone 7 here. Arrow casted towards the mid. And not going to be able to land on Fata. But with the few right clicks left from the Wisp. One more from Big Daddy here will be enough. But he is going to be picked up by Puppy's arrow. Fata already starting 0-2 in the mid. Pilot Eye a bit late to rotate over here. And the tether away from Big Daddy will get him to safety. Also, Pilot Eye going to be gone on here by Kuroki. He does blink in. He's going to take a few hits from the tower here. But the Wisp movement speed will get him away. Arrow going to whiff from Puppy. And lucky for Big Daddy being there for Kuroki. Pilot Eye not able to pick up that kill with the assist of the tower. However, EE farming very well. 13-4 up in that safe lane here. I'm not going to be worried at all about Simba's Nature's Prophet. Stifling Dagger, Blink out onto Piledai. Nice Sandstorm. He did pick up his level 2, and he's able to dissuade Kuroki from staying in on him, of course, with no detection. Early Bassi is up, as well as a Poor Man's Shield for Kuroki. He's doing extremely well, sitting at 2-0-1 on this PA. Is only level 2, however, so in terms of the experience, we won't see a huge jump here. Actually, C9 leading the way in experience, 750 gold lead for Secret, so... Bring back up the last hits and denies. S4 posturing up really aggressively bot lane, actually killing Bone 7 in this lane. So perhaps the pull that happened from Mirana, not sure if Puppey was able to pull something, does ensure his CS advantage here. Clearing up is Puppey. He's in the tree line as well. We'll see if he looks to go for another arrow here. It does seem like he's going to rotate mid. Simba doing just fine in the offlane, 4-1 on the Nature's Prophet, sitting at almost level 3 here. Stifling Dagger goes into Fata. Blink forward by Kuroki. Wisp speed. He's got the spirits as well. Piledai coming in with a 2-man burrow. He only gets 1. A Crypt Swarm going to go out. The arrow's going to hit on Piledai, but the tower will clean up Kuroki. Aoi going to come in. He's got 1 more Arcane Bolt in 1 second. 1 more right click onto Big Daddy. He'll clean him up. 2 for 1 in the mid lane. Wisp and PA going the way of Cloud9 here. Unfortunately for them, we did see Fata drop first, so he doesn't get any experience. 140 experience swing and 400 gold swing exactly in the way of Cloud9 there, but still, Fata doing extremely poorly on this Death Prophet. That's going to hinder their ability in the mid game. Big Daddy going around with Puppey, doing a little roam here. Piledai going to secure the top rune, which is a haste. Does anyone have a bottle here? Doesn't seem so. So he's just going to secure this haste rune here, perhaps for Fata, perhaps not. Arrow was not used yet. Bone 7 TPing back into the bot lane, sitting at 0-0-0 with only 9 last hits for this Centaur here. But he is almost level 5, 1 level behind S4's Brewmaster here, who already has his Arc Boots up. Interesting pickup from him, but it'll be able to allow him to spam that Thunderclap in lane. EE farming well, as per usual, at 28 and 15 on this Anti-Mage. A little bit of, arrow flies bottom is going to whiff on Bone 7. So, sorry for getting that poopy angle there for you guys. Bone 7 going to use his double edge. TP's in from Simba, but actually Bone 7 was aware of it and looking to stomp. TP in mid. Actually, Kuroki does pick up Fata once again. Aoi here to try and stave off some aggression, but he's going to be gone on here. Arrow flying from Puppey. Going to hit Simba, TPing in as well. TP's in mid from Fata. He might have to cancel this one. No, he doesn't. Piledai, sorry, TPing in. Fata TPing to the T2. Aoi going to go down as well. 2-0 in the mid lane, going the way of Secret. Score is 6-2, 5 minutes in. They're going to go on Bone 7. Bottom split committed as well. And Fata's, S4 going to pick up Bone 7 here. No arrow needed from Puppey. Early game going extremely well for Secret, especially considering the lineup of C9 here. So... unfortunate for Bone 7, he does lose 150 gold. He is sitting at level 5, however, will have this Stampede up soon. Has his Trank Boots ready here. Kuroki is farming up a stack here, or just a medium camp, and is done with that. We'll go back to the mid lane. Is a bottle picked up for Big Daddy? Yep, so he'll be able to regen up Kuroki in this mid lane. Simba sitting in mid lane. We'll see the instant regen happen from Big Daddy, using up that fountain regen that lingers there, so... well played by him. He'll also be able to pick up his bottle, refill it, I should say, with that bounty rune. Only a null talisman on Fata. TPs are in bottom on Bone 7. But a nice 3-man burrow from Piledai is going to keep them back. Nice body blocking happening from the Treants. Ancient Seal, Arcane Bolt going to finish off Puppey here. However, the clap will finish off Bone 7 and a burrow strike as well as Arcane Bolt into Simba. 2 for 1 in the bot lane. For the way of Cloud9. Of course, strong roaming duo, as I had mentioned in this Skywrath Sand King. But again, the core dies before any experience can be had. And Bone 7 still sitting at level 6. So there are some levels on the supports here. You can see level 5 and 5 for relocate. First relocate gank use. Sorry guys, missed that one. Aoi going to go down in the bot lane. But as I was saying, both level 5 are the supports of C9. So that's a good thing for them. Piledai will be able to retreat into the jungle, but the early aggression from Secret is keeping him having to roam here. Fata finally going to pick up some last hits with a Crypt Swarm here in the mid lane, sitting at only 17-0 on this Death Prophet. They've really done a good job of shutting him down. However, EE, AFK farming as usual, PvE for EE here. So He's got his Mana Void up, sitting at level 8 after a creep kill here, and is going for the Burning max stats 1111 build here. So interesting build from EE. Going to look to farm and even perhaps fight a little early game with these stats. He does go in on Simba here. Is just going to put a little bit of harass out onto him. Pylai is actually rotating over if Simba gets greedy here. Burrow Strike is level 2. He's going to be able to pick up Simba here. Burrow into everything, including the Treants. Mana Void's going to be there, and EE will find his first kill of the game on that AM. So awesome kill for him. He's doing extremely well, sitting at 61 CS, as well as 1,300 gold and his Ring of Health. Pylai was going for that rune top, but Kuroki gonna find it first with Big Daddy filling up his bottle there. We see Fata and Aoi rotating towards the bottom room. Haste gonna be picked up on Fata. He does only have 2 levels in the Witchcraft, so this Exorcism is certainly underwhelming at level 1 with only 2 levels in the Witchcraft. Bone 7 gonna eat an arrow here. TPs are in from Pylai. Split gonna be committed, and Pylai gonna cancel that and concede the kill. In the meantime, so S4 picks that up. In the meantime here, Aoi gonna go down mid to Wisp and Kuroki here. So Big Daddy and Kuroki doing extremely well in this mid game. Relocate forward to try and go on Fata, but he does have the haste rune to pop here, and they will stave off the aggression here. 2-0 across the map, going the way of Secret as well. They're gonna find a tower, doing extremely well in this mid game. They do have the anti-mage to worry about, but with this quad core they're running, shouldn't be that much of a problem. Stampede is available here for Bone 7. Will he look to go in with some TPs? Arrow flies forward, just going to zone him out. They're going to finish off the tower. S4 going to find the last hit on his Brewmaster. He's going to pick up his Blink as well here. 9-minute Blink for S4, as well as 400 gold to his name, as well as Arc Boots. So he's able to pick up a full magic wand as well if he wants. Mid tower pretty unhealthy here for C9. Kuroki probably going to look to put some punishment into that. Off lane tower is pretty low, as EE's had a free time in this top lane, sitting on Treads, Ring of Health, 1,800 gold. So it looks like he's going to go early Battle Fury here. No surprise from EE. He even goes early Battle Fury on Void, which a lot of people would disagree with. So 2,000 gold for him. Pylai finally retreating to the jungle here. He's got 900 gold. He should have a blink in 3 minutes or so if he's able to farm without having to TP too much here. Could have gonna let this camp stack as well. There's a double stack here for him and a double stack in the large camp for him to farm up his blink, so he should be just fine in terms of that blink timing. A little bit late, of course, having to stave off some of the aggression. We look at the KDA, of course, very heavily in favor of Secret here. We've got some camp farming here. Pylai going to pick up level 7 soon. We've got almost level 6 on Aoi, so he's hanging around trying to find some form of experience here. 3-man smoke in the mid lane from Secret here. They're trying to look for Fata roaming in. Use this Blink Dagger. 10 seconds till Primal Split. They will find Pylai farming the jungle, but Fata is around the corner. Jump in, Dust, Clap. Nice burrow out from Pylai. Crypt Swarm from the low ground. Not going to be enough, though. Blink in from Kuroki. They're going to pick him off. That's going to really slow down his Blink Dagger here, unfortunately for him. EE still farming away. Has his Claymore up. Needs his Broadsword. That's another 350 gold away for his... He may pick up his Void Stone first of all, so he's about 1,100 gold from his Battle Fury here is EE. Secret don't seem to be too worried. I would take a PA with 55 CS and 4 kills over an anti-mage with 82 CS and 1 kill most often, especially with the Wisp on their side. No glyph for Cloud9 here. They're going to lose their tower mid already. The gold going heavily in favor of Secret. In excess of 3,000, only leading 250 in terms of experience. Jump in, split, and a relocate bottom on Fata. Boulder Toss going to go in. Stampede's going to be too late from Bone 7. They're going to pick off Fata with ease. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Pylai, he's popping the epicenter. Not going to be enough here. Do they have Dust for him? They don't. He will look to Sandstorm here, and he does do so. However, the Spirit's going to go into him, and he will get cleaned up by Big Daddy here. Kuroki gonna aggress mid lane, Stifling Dagger into Bone 7. Won't be able to find anything, but they will look to pressure the T2 here, perhaps. Perhaps not. Split committed there. Bottom lane for Fata. Fata doing extremely poorly on this Death Prophet. Sitting at Phase Boots, Null Talisman, 12 minutes in. Take a look at the net worth chart. He is underneath the Sand King of Pilotai, and Arrow gonna go out here and gonna find EE. Oh no, it actually hits a creep. Lucky for EE, he'll be just fine. Even finishes off the creep here. Very well shot by Puppy there. Kuro gonna farm up the medium camp here, take away some more farm from Pilotai. They also dropped an aggressive ward, so they'll be able to pick him off trying to farm up his Blink Dagger. He's very late on that, unfortunately, so well played by Secret to stifle his farm. And Pilotai going to do some mid farming here by himself, going to look to find something in the face of Secret here, as they are all sitting in their jungle. TPs are bottom here from S4's Brewmaster. Exorcism actually committed for the tower here. We have TPs on 3 other heroes for Secret here. Will they look to trade top? They do have a split up in 38 seconds, so won't be able to get it up in time for this tower defense. And we do have Bone 7 creep cutting. In the meantime, they're going to put some harass into this top tower. Pilotai farming the enemy jungle here. And relocate is in bottom on Fata. Jump clap. Blink in from Kuro. Nope, they're not even going to need it. He's going to blink on Aoi. Very efficient from Kuro as they clean up a 2-for-0 in the bot lane and save their tower. Pilotai just out of position there. Bone 7 actually TP'd out. Very unfortunate and inopportune time to do so. However, he's going to farm up this camp. He's going to have his dagger, albeit very late, but a huge pickup for C9 here. Mech's going to come out for Big Daddy. Take a look at the item progression for the rest of the field. Of course, the blink was mentioned by me. Battle Fury comes out for Kuroki actually before it comes out for EE here, so crazy. It is on the courier, however, I would assume. Yep, so Battle Fury is coming out simultaneously, so as I had mentioned, the PA with the few more kills, a little bit more worth than EE's Anti-Mage here, however. Of course, Anti-Mage, very scary into the late game. Dagger does come out for Bone 7. Big pickup here. Perhaps him and Aoi and Pilotai can create some space for Fata to find that Yule Scepter. But Secret aggressively posturing up in the enemy jungle here. Perhaps they look to flank EE. Are there TPs from C9? There are TPs from every hero on C9 except Bone 7. So they will be able to rotate 3 in here. Stifling Dagger goes out onto EE. He's going to blink into the trees. Arrow going to fly. It's going to be short. It's going to be low, I should say, from Puppy. TPs are mid lane from EE. And he's going to be rotated towards pretty quickly, though. So should be careful. Has used his blink there. He is 1-3-1-2 build at this point with 4 points into stats. So, we have a 2-man smoke here from Aoi and Centaur. They can certainly find Simba in the mid lane with the blink in. Oh, the stomp gonna miss though. Stampede is a little late. Split committed. Mystic Flare gonna whiff a little, and actually EE and Bone 7 go down. Big misplay by Bone 7. 3-for-0 in the mid lane for Secret, and just outplayed there. Bone 7 overly aggressive. His blink is late. Doesn't hit the hoof stomp. And they will get cleaned up, all 3 of them in the mid lane. Big experience and gold change. 2,000 swing, 2,700 swing in terms of gold and experience, respectively, in the favor of Secret. Unfortunately for Cloud9 fan gaze like myself, looking really poor in this early game where they should have looked pretty damn good. Death Prophet, probably the story, been totally shut down here. Dagger does come out here for Pilotai. Perhaps he can hit a burrow. As Bone 7 does miss that hoof stomp. So they lose out on a kill on mid and in fact feed 3. So huge swing there for Secret. As you can see, Brewmaster on S4 has now overtaken EE on the Anti-Mage, and he is no longer very scary at this point. We'll be able to farm with that Battle Fury, but to what ends here? It begs the question. Does this game. Simba doing fairly well, sitting at 4,500 net worth. He's got a Maelstrom and Treads up. So nothing, overwhelming here. But Vlad's has been picked up by S4's Brew. He's going to go for this fighting Brewmaster 3-man smoke from the roaming combo of Centaur. Jump in. They're going to hit the hoof stomp as well as the burrow. Easy kill onto Puppy, but not the target they wanted to find. However, is some sort of a comeback. They do reveal the Blink Dagger on Pilotai. Fata is nowhere near his Yules at this point. Almost has enough for the Void Stone, so he needs about 1,075 gold. Even excess of that, actually. He needs 1,075 plus the recipe. 4-man smoke immediately after that first smoke from C9. Perhaps they look to go into Roche with this exorcism here. Actually, Fata's going to back up here. So another rotation from the 3 gankers here. Puppy is waiting for Simba to be gone on in the trees here. So he will have a counter initiation arrow. EE just going to TP forward, bait himself out a bit. Actually, S4 TPing in on the brew. He will have a blink clap here. He's going to back off, jump forward with the clap. Clap is going to whiff. Nice blink out. Here comes Owie 2000. Concussive shot, stampede in. Ancient seal, double edge, as well as the Epi and the Mystic Flare. They're going to finish off S4 with a bit of kill here. And Sentry Ward, nice placement by Puppy. They're going to find the return kill on Pilot Eye. In the meantime, it looks like DP was picked off by Kuro and Big Daddy. Blink out from Bone 7. He's going to be a little worried about the relocate, as he should. And so we do see TPs from Simba towards the bot lane here. They're going to look to push this in a bit. Another failed gank from C9. They find the Brewmaster. They lose 2 across the map, though. So Fata once again found farming and Gif Sing Sing. No, I'm just kidding. Fata's played really well so far for C9, but just having a brutal game, and unfortunately for him, this is a best of 1 Summit 2 EU qualifiers presented by Beyond the Summit and G2A. Go ahead and grab your compendium if you haven't already, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'm Morris, please. You're a resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. As we see Stifling Dagger blink in from Kuroki, just gonna put some harass on, trying to actually bait out the hoof stomp and dodge it with the wisp movement speed. So pretty cheeky play there from Kuroki. Very smart play. Arrow gonna scout the secret shop. Not gonna find anyone here from Puppy, but they do go right into Roche, knowing that no one is there, and with the wisp they should take this down pretty quickly. C9 does not seem to be readily aware of this, and even without a medallion, Roche dropping extremely quickly. So C9 going to concede this without contesting. They're actually looking for high ground, posturing up from Secret, but they won't find it. And of course, Roche gonna go down here to Secret. Kuro gonna grab this up, and really scary now is times for C9. There is a blink top for EE as well as Pilot Eye if they want to go on Simba here. They can also get the tower off the back of that, but relocate is up. So pretty scary play for them. Arrow gonna fly from Puppy. Blink out from Bone 7 would have hit him if he stayed in the trees. Puppy's been really on point with his arrows here. Just good game sense and awareness of the possible positions of C9. A lot of good blind arrows that, even though they haven't hit, were correct about the current location at cast time. So Simba deterring the push top here. Tower is not in deny range. Pilot Eye going to port in mid, and they'll look to defend this on Kuro. However, he does have an Aegis here, so Arrow going to fly from Puppy, going to scout high ground, jump in, Burrow Strike, Mystic Flare onto Kuro, jump in and Primal Split with the blink from Kuro. Going to finish off Bone 7, or actually Aui's Skywrath here. I thought it was the Centaur for a second. Windwalk in forward. Is there a Cyclone here from S4's Brew? Blink away from Pilot Eye. He'll still get lifted up. But just a zoning Cyclone there from S4, and they finish off the tier 2. Towers are 4-0 in favor of Secret. Take a look at the gold graph. 10,000 gold lead, 7,500 experience lead for Secret. Look at the hero levels. Only EE has really been able to keep up with the rest of Secret. So still looking for EE to sort of come online here. He's got 2,700 gold. Perhaps he goes for this early MKB. He's extremely squishy though at this point. Relocate in bottom. Actually, they pick up S4 with that Ancient Seal combo, but Bone 7 gonna die for it as well as Pilot Eye. He's even gonna pop the Epicenter panic ult as he dies. So still 2 for 1. This ganking combo of Centaur and Sand King and Aoi 2000 Skywrath has been effective, but they just counter initiate with the relocate every time, and Secret seems to get the better of the trades. And in light of that, they haven't been able to create any space for Fata, who has a Yule's Recipe and a Sage's Mask 22 minutes into the game. Very, very sad game for Death Prophet. Bible Thump here. Arrow goes out towards the base. I'm not going to find anyone from Puppy. Fata trying to find something, just anything here. Simba almost TPing in on him. Thinks better of it. They're going to go and put some damage into this T3 here. S4 going to TP bot lane and look for to join the push here. Jump in, Burrow Strike from Pilot Eye. Just going to stall things here. Doesn't look like they have enough. EE picks off the tier 1 in the top lane in the meantime. Arrow going to fly. Stifling Dagger almost hits Pilot Eye. Jump in anyways from Curl with the Nature's Wrath. Jump in from Bone 7 onto S4. Not going to be enough. Bone 7 going to get picked off here with 1 crit from Curl. Ancient Seal out on Kuroki, but everyone just running for C9. Blink is here from Pilot Eye. He's only going to catch up Big Daddy's Wisp. And him and Owie will finish off Big Daddy, presumably here. Actually, no! Big crit from Kuroki. He's going to finish off Skywrath. Triple kill for Kuroki. Burrow from Pilot Eye. There's a blink here from Curl, but he does blink out Pilot Eye, and he's going to TP back to base in his own base. And that's the state of his game. In the meantime, EE going to pick 1 off in the bot lane. He's going to blink forward. Blink actually backwards, and split committed here from S4. He doesn't pick anyone off. S4 was able to get the split off. My apologies for that. Cyclone does go out here. Fata going to get hit with a boulder toss. Arrow going to go out. Not going to hit EE, but Burrow Strike Epicenter in on Curl. They're going to find just the Aegis here, but they do find S4 in the meantime. They've lost all their racks, and Arrow's going to whiff here, but Curl's going to finish off Owie's Skywrath, and he's going to finish off Pilot Eye as well. Another triple kill going Kuroki's way. 15-1 on this PA. EE blinking into the trees. He still has a Manta here. Will he use it? He will. He's going to get blocked in by the tree ants. He's going to try and go out onto Simba. Blinks forward towards the Sand King here. Bone 7 Stampede used. He's going to pin. Oh, he's actually going to die before getting Big Daddy. And instant buyback. EE does finally pick off Big Daddy's IO here, but Pilot Eye is able to blink away. Stifling Dagger is going to hit. Is Kuroki able to get there in time? It looks like he will. Blink in. 1 crit from Curl will do it. He'll actually go into the base. He's going to get Burrow struck here. Exorcism popped. Oh, over aggressive play from Curl. He's going to die in the fountain. And in the meantime, EE going to be, he's got his Manta as well as a blink here. He should be just fine. He was cornered by Simba as well as Puppy's Mirana, but he's able to blink away. Arrow going to fly. It's going to hit from Puppy. Beautiful play. Negative earn charge. Couple right clicks. EE going to go down. And Puppy has just been looking Sing Sing-esque. Revenge for Sing Sing against C9 here. So, wow. Unbelievable play. Fata still doesn't have a Yule Scepter on this Death Prophet. Fight recap not going to show much. Can't exactly tell you much, but the fact that Kuro is level 18, 16, 2, and 11 on this PA. EE 3, 2, and 1. Owie has 9 deaths. Fata has 10. Bone 7 has 7. And Pilot Eye has 6. 34-13 is your score. 25 minutes into the game, and take a look at the graphs, and things just looking abysmal for Cloud9. Actually, a small dip back in their favor, finding that return kill. Kuroki was a big death in the fountain. Certainly a lot of experience going the way of Fata and Pilot Eye there, but experience just isn't enough. Fata does finally pick up a Yule Scepter. Bottle on the ground is probably Pilot Eye's. It is, so Bone 7 just still has his dagger, looking for a 4-staff with that max mobility build to get away from this PA Wisp combo. E has his Manta and Battle Fury and 1,000 gold. So we'll see if he's able to find any item progression. 6,000 net worth behind Kuroki's PA, who currently has Satanic Battle Fury, Poor Man's Shield, Phase, Aquila, and 1,000 gold. Mjolnir does come out for Simba here. He's actually going to cancel his TP to the bot lane. No, he'll come back in. Really having cold feet. Simba knows he can get solo killed by EE here. TPs are to the bot lane though. Nope, he actually cancels that one too. EE gonna find this for free perhaps, and actually does blink out towards the jungle. Arrow flies top lane, not gonna hit anyone. But they are looking to take another lane of racks with their advantage. EE has a TP in 15 seconds to return with this base defense. And they'll actually finally find a tier 1. Towers are a 6 plus a set of racks to 2 in favor of Secret. Bone 7 Pilot Eye hit sitting on the high ground. Are the Radiant able to see them? They are not at this point. There is actually a ward here which scouts them out, and here from Secret though. Really got to deward your base C9. Roche will be, we will know when he spawns in about 40 seconds or so. EE is deep in behind enemy lines here. And Arrow is going to scout him out and actually hits him. Wow. Poppy's play this game has been unbelievable on this Mirana. EE actually blinks into the Arrow here. Unbelievable. And really, That's 2,000 experience going the way of S4 and Big Daddy, and all of C9's hopes going the way of Secret at this point. They are totally starved into their base. Take a look at the vision. We've got Secret looking at pretty much the entire map here. Cloud9 only looking at their base, and Roshan. So yep, times are rough for C9 here. Secret definitely living up to the hype in this game. Bone7 baiting himself out. He's going to have to use the Stampede defensively for nothing here. Jump in Burrow Strike from Pi, but reinitiate from S4 is staved off with a Hoof Stomp here. Seal out onto S4, but they won't be able to do anything on it. Yule's up onto Kuroki. So that will stop his blink, but he's still able to blink it onto Fata. Actually, Ghost Scepter used here. Blink, Burrow Strike onto Kuro. Exorcism going to be used here. Bone7 is way too low to go back in, though. And that's going to be pretty much the entire toolkit of C9. They will use the Glyph until EE is up. We'll see if Secret chooses to back off here. Looks like they're just going to heal up here behind the base and re-engage. Wrath of Nature goes through and does a hell of a lot of damage to the entire lineup of C9 as they have these wards here. Perhaps that tips off C9 to the wards in their base, and it does. Aoi going to do some de-warding here. This sentry is going to be a little out of range of this ward, which is placed pretty deep in their base. EE going to do some farming. He's sitting at 13k net worth, 7k behind the PA of Kuroki. So Cliff Sentry out here from Cloud9. They still have Roche scouted for a little bit. 15 seconds on this sentry. Through 3 minutes. Roche actually spawns, so they will see that for the side of C9. Trent here to scout it for the side of Secret, and immediately into the pit goes S4. He's got it split up, though, so unless they get a seal off on him, yeah, units are here mid lane, so not sure if C9 looking to smoke out and go here. They do smoke 3. They will also port EE in here, so they are looking to go to Roche. Will they be there in time? It looks like they will. Moonlight Shadow is going to be popped, however. Bone7 jumps in, stomp onto only one, and the split is used. Epicenter, however, coming out from Pilot Eye. Bone7 gets cleaned up quick by a couple cleaves from Kuroki. Big Daddy going to have to rotate out with a Haste Rune. Fata lifted up in the air. Boulder Toss goes on into him, as well as the Stifling Dagger. A Ghost Scepter only going to stall the inevitable here for him. He's going to use himself. Actually, he's going to get Cycloned here. And in the back lines, Aoi going to use a seal up here. Pilot Eye going to just burrow out. Kuro's going to find Aoi here in just a quick second. Ghost Scepter used from Aoi. Spirits are going to do quite a bit of damage into him. He's just going to put some Arcane Bolt Harass into Kuroki as he dies. And that's pretty much the last breath for C9 here. As Roche is going down. Arrow's going to scout out EE here, but it won't hit on him. Regardless, he's going to have to back up. Perhaps he looks for an Aegis Snatch here, though. Need a comeback mechanic. There is a Blink Burrow from Pilot Eye. Blink is down for 3 seconds on EE. Jump in. Pilot Eye too late. Aegis already picked up. And Pilot Eye going to feed his life away for this one. So, unfortunately, you can't predict the crits of PA here, and therefore GG called. Cloud9 gonna lose their first game in the Summit 2. Who paused here? Looks like everyone DC'd. Admins may have paused thinking there was a disconnect, but GG's called. Nonetheless, well played by Secret here. I'm gonna lose some rares. Well played, well played, well played from everyone. Good draft. But better execution from Secret is the story of Game 1 here. I felt like they were outdrafted, but their early game went extremely well for them. S4 did well in his lane one-on-one against Bone7. Bone7 missing that gank, the Hoof Stomp on Simba in mid, and feeding 3 over really secured the advantage for PA. Kuro doing extremely well, 766 GPM, 725 XPM in that one. C9 will look to redeem themselves, however, up against Fnatic in their next game. Want to stop the hemorrhaging here and just exit this game. On to the next, on to the next for us C9 fan gaze. Thank you for joining me, guys. This is the Summit 2 with Cloud9 versus Secret in the Europe qualifiers. I am Morris, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. Thank you for joining me today, guys. This is the Summit 2 presented by Beyond the Summit and G2A.com in partnership with 100TB.com. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I am Morris, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. We will have the next game up soon. It is Cloud9 versus Fnatic. So good game once again. C9 heavily favored on Dota 2 Lounge last time I checked. take a look again. They are 75% favorites over Fnatic. This game should start in about 15 minutes or so. Once again, thanks for joining me, guys. I am Mars, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, and we will have Cloud9 versus Fnatic up in about 15 minutes or so. So just going to leave the stream up here. Thanks for joining me once again. Of course, you can check out the official stream at twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit. So Healy Umbrella casting that one. If you guys enjoyed my cast, stick with me. Thanks for the support. I'm Morris Pease, your resident Canadian Dota caster. You can follow me on Twitter at MRP_Dota and the same on Twitch. Let me know how I'm doing. Flame me a bit. And really good first game of the day for Summit. We'll see the next one played here by Fnatic and C9. So I'll see you guys in around 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get the lobby open before that, but the schedule is for 15 minutes from about now. So see you guys soon. Thanks for joining. Hello, Dota 2 fans, and welcome for our second game of the day. Once again, this is the Summit 2, presented by Beyond the Summit and G2A.com. I am Maurice, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster, and we have Cloud9 versus Fnatic in the second game of the day. Of course, C9 falling in game 1 to Secret. Of course, these are best of ones. This is the Europe qualifiers for the Summit 2 LAN finals. And a really well-played game by Secret this morning, or just earlier today, taking out C9 with a PA draft versus the EE anti-mage draft from C9. Some very standard stuff from C9. Skywrath, Centaur, Sand King roaming combo was unfortunately not as effective as they would hope it would be, especially into the relocate ganks that were available from the Big Daddy Wisp on the side of Secret. However, C9 looking to redeem themselves here in this game, a second game of the day for them versus Fnatic's new squad, which is basically Hani plus MYM. These are all the former players of Meet Your Makers, not officially under the Fnatic label yet, but I have been playing with them since about the middle of the Star Ladder Europe qualifiers for Season 10. So come with me. Rise, Ace, and Arise are playing for Fnatic, along with Hani, who actually stood in for Alliance in ESL 1 New York, so he's had quite a bit of game experience lately. Magnus, Skywrath are going to be the bans from C9. Obviously, not a big fan of the Magnetor in this patch. They banned it against Secret as well. First ban, a Razor taken away from Fata and EE here from Fnatic. Fnatic Hani has a Patamon picture from Digimon in his profile. Pretty sweet, Hani. Pretty sweet. Puck going to be banned out, taken away from Fata as well as Bone7, and Cloud9 will pick up the Brewmaster for Fata, which they have been doing for quite a while now, since 6.82 and even before into 6.81. He's obviously a very capable player on this Brewmaster, played out of his mind in ESL 1 on the Brewmaster versus I want to say Alliance. Yeah, I think it was versus Alliance. They didn't fare very well against EG, of course, dropping 2-1, dropping that series to them. We'll see what the response is here. First pick from Fnatic.
5 seconds remaining.
They have quite a bit of reserve time, but looks like they're going to eat into it a bit here. And just to, if you guys aren't familiar with these Meet Your Makers players, Come With Me has been in the scene for quite a while. Is generally the 5, sometimes the 4. So we'll see what they end up playing here. Hani's got to be, of course, the mid. And so we'll see how they end up running this for Fnatic. Death Prophet for Hani here. First pickup. Death Prophet Brew. Pretty common standard mid matchup. Both do fairly well. Death Prophet probably the slight edge with the Crypt Swarm, but Brewmaster does just fine in that matchup. And of course, C9 could always run him in the safe lane with an Eternal NVPA mid, or a Lycan mid, or a Naga mid. Of course, I would say Tinker as well, but RIP Tinker as of 6.82. So EE very capable on the heroes I just mentioned in the mid lane. So Batrider, Bone7's Batrider, going to be denied up by Fnatic here. Bone7 played particularly well on the Batrider recently, but he's one of the heroes that really made Batrider popular a few patches back when he was starting in the Kai P squad for Cloud9. Of course, Cloud9 going from Kai P to Speed Gaming to, or I think Kai P might have been to Rattlesnake into Speed Gaming, and then of course to Cloud9. Aui's Visage going to be picked up here, so very comfortable draft for C9 so far. Aui 2000 extremely proficient on this Visage. Brewmaster, of course, picked up by Fata. He's very good on that hero as well. They're actually going to ban out the Faceless Void, something Fnatic ran a lot before the changes to their roster. So with Boogie playing on the Void, Boogie is now in 4 Anchors and Sea Captain over with Trixie, along with Matumbaman and the other couple players that were standing in for Fnatic immediately following TI4. But I haven't seen this Fnatic squad run too much Void. However, going to be banned out regardless by C9. Don't want to see the Chronosphere into their brew kill him off before the split brew, albeit a very tanky hero. EE's Drow is going to be banned out by Fnatic, rightfully so. This Drow Visage combo, of course, not only coined and popularized by C9, but run to great effect. So nice ban there from Fnatic, very smart. Of course, both teams know each other pretty well, and I'm sure Hani has quite a lot of insight from his days as the Fnatic solo mid before the addition of the remainder of the players for Fnatic right now. So if you do want to see that older Fnatic squad just post TI, they are playing with Trixie in 4A SC, 4 Anchors, and C Captain. I don't believe they are in the Summit. I'm going to have to confirm that. Yeah, they are not in the Summit, but they are in Star Ladder. Actually, they were just booted from Star Ladder. I think they're playing in Dota Pit for sure, which I will be covering. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were playing in Synergy as well. I may be incorrect about that, but I have to check that out. Just some tournaments going on right now. D2L is also going on, and Dota 2 Champions League Season 4 is rounding out here. So, as well as Dream League. Of course, Dream League has had some issues with scheduling and whatnot, but that is neither here nor there. Weaver going to be banned out here from C9. So, very mobile hero, definitely one that Brewmaster has a little more trouble locking down than a lot of other heroes. Of course, he does have the Cyclone with the Wind Panda, and the Wind Panda has pretty damn good move speed, but nonetheless, no hard lockdown here yet for C9. So, Weaver, a good ban. And of course, EE's Slark going to be banned here by Fnatic, something I mentioned in the previous game that they ran pretty damn well at ESL 1, and that I would have liked to see in their draft versus Secret, but they ended up going for the Anti-Mage instead. Vengeful Spirit going to be picked up from C9, so a lot of minus armor here already, as the Venge has the Wave of Terror, and you will often see Aoi go for the Medallion on his Visage. A lot of Roche potential already for this lineup. Ogre Magi going to be picked up from Fnatic here, so very tanky support. Versatile support, of course, is melee. That's his one downside, but he has a lot of base armor, I think the highest in the game starting off. So very resistant to physical damage, high base pool, reliable stun in the Fire Blast, and of course, if he's able to get up that Aghanim Scepter, the unrefined Fire Blast is pretty damn good as well. Of course, buffs to Ogre Magi in the previous patch, with the level 1 40% chance of a 2x multicast. So pretty damn good for him. We'll see what the response is with the 4th pick here from Fnatic in the 2nd pick phase. And so what they'll look to couple this Ogre Magi with may come out here. We're probably anticipating the Batrider offline. They do pair with a CM, so lots of mana for the Ogre, which is very good. He doesn't start with a giant mana pool. Mana, of course, helps out the Death Prophet in the mid lane to spam Crypt Swarm to harass up Fata's Brewmaster, and just generally a good roam support. Doesn't have the greatest movement speed, is a little bit squishy in lane, but with 2 reliable stuns with the Frostbite and the Ignite, or in the Fire Blast, I should say, pretty damn good combo here from Fnatic. So they'll look to pick up the 1 position hero. Bone 7's LC actually going to come out for C9 here. This is something that they pretty much started in terms of LC in the off lane. So we've seen LC run in the mid with a Wisp, as well as even in the safe lane in rare occasions, but Cloud9 solely runs this Legion Commander in the off lane for Bone 7. Gets up that early blink, and that level 6 for the duel, and sets up quite a few kills for them. But with Brewmaster being able to blink in and clap first, this is going to set up a lot for Bone 7 without sort of exposing himself to any immediate danger. So nice pickup here from C9. They're going to be able to lock down perhaps the Batrider when he jumps in with that duel, when he jumps in for the lasso, and so that will be a good tool. Of course, Venge is an immediate counter to Bat as well with the swap out of the lassoed target. So pretty solid draft from both sides so far. Nothing too unorthodox. Of course, we see Ogre here and there after the buffs to him, but isn't the most common support. However, in the 4 role, I really like Ogre. especially with a CM, hard 5 like a CM to support him and perhaps get his farm to the level of an Aghanims. We'll see what the final ban is from C9. EE's Naga going to be banned out from Fnatic here. They only have 6 seconds of reserve time left, so they're going to have to make this last pick fairly quickly for their 1 position. We'll see what the carry ban is here from C9. Certainly not expecting an Ogre Magi core. That would be something that's surprising coming out from Fnatic, but I wouldn't be too worried about it if I was Cloud9. So they'll ban out the Luna, actually, from C9. Not a hero that we've seen too often after the nerfs to her base agility. Is considered pretty weak, but it does synergize well with the magic damage of the support combo and does make for a very strong tri lane with the mini stun from the Eclipse as well as the 2 stuns provided by Ogre Magi and Crystal Maiden. So smart ban here from C9 to take that Luna out. There still is a Gyrocopter which would synergize extremely well with the Ogre and the Maiden if we look for a max rocket build here from Fnatic. So they could look to go the Gyro route. He has pretty decent base armor. They're actually going to eat into these last 4 seconds here. Hopefully they don't randomize. This pick does come out as the Spectre, so not a strong early early laner is Spectre. Very strong, of course, in the late game. And actually, EE's Terrorblade going to be ignored here by Fnatic. And even after the nerf, C9 more than willing to play this hero in the hands of Eternal Envy. So Hani's actually going to pick up the 1 role here. Arai is going to play in the mid on that Death Prophet. Hani going to pick up the Spectre here in the safe lane. Come with me, of course, on the 5 position. Rise on the Ogre Magi in the 4. And Ace will be in the off lane on the Batrider here. So, of course, Bone 7 going in the off lane. As I mentioned, Aoi on Visage. No surprises there. Fata on Brewmaster. EE on Terrorblade here. And what I was going to mention is that Spectre is not so good in the laning stage. But of course, very good in the late game now. Is also synergized as well with the Batrider because the Batrider is able to isolate a target and allow for her Desolate damage to do quite a bit of work. But with this jump ability here, we're anticipating to see from C9 with heroes like the Brewmaster, the Legion Commander. Not sure how often Ace will be able to drag a hero back. But EE certainly very weak in the early stages of the game. He does pick up an Arcana here. I haven't seen him running with the Fractal Horns of the Inner Abysm before, so obviously really likes this hero. Worth buying the Arcana there. He goes for level 1 Metamorphosis regardless of the nerfs to that. He's still going to do very well. It also helps with the last hitting, of course. Boots first on Ace. He's going to run down and plant a nice ward here. That'll scout out the defensive try from Cloud9, but of course that is something that is expected with Terrorblade on your side. He's very weak in the laning stage and needs to be babysat. Ward's actually going to come out here, Sentry Wards for Pylai, so they probably did see that being placed, but regardless, Aoi on his signature Visage in the 4 position, EE on the 1, Terrorblade in Pylai on the 5 position, Vengeful Spirit in the mid. We have Fata on his signature 2, Brewmaster, Bone 7 on what is becoming a signature hero for him, the Legion Commander in the 3 in the off lane for the side of Cloud9. Nice little high ground ward here placed by Fnatic for their defensive tri lane, so they'll see any rotations down into the river here. A little bit of an engagement between Come With Me and Bone 7. He's going to put some harass into her. That's going to eat into her regen. She'll probably have to use a Tango or perhaps even a Salve for this one, but we'll Tango through the trees. Come With Me will be just fine. Actually, looks like we'll have a dual lane here from C9, but to round out the lineup for Fnatic here, Come With Me on the 5 position, Crystal Maiden. Hani on the 1 position, Spectre looking really pimped out. Arise in the mid on the 2 position, Death Prophet. Rise on the Ogre Magi with a Haste Rune in the bottom lane. Looks like dual versus dual lane on the 4 position, Ogre, and 3 position, Batrider is for Ace. So we'll check out the top lane for now. May see some aggression here early on. Bone 7 should have a really good time in this lane if he's able to last hit, which he does seem to be able to do. Mid should be pretty even, as I mentioned in the draft. Fata should do well with the Drunken Brawler. Not going to be harassed by the right clicks too much of Arise, but will be harassed, of course, by the Crypt Swarm once she starts to get up her bottle. But will be definitely fine in the early game. So 7 for 1 already is Fata up against the 3-0 of DP. So come with me. Maybe looking to pull here fairly soon. Actually, the camp was blocked out by Magic Bushward by C9. Well played by them. So they'll have a good time in this off lane. Bone 7 actually going to get caught with a Frostbite. Going to take quite a bit of harass from the creep wave here. And we'll have to burn a Tango for that. Fata still doing well in mid. He's used up a couple of claps here. So is going to be a little low on mana. But already should have his bottle coming out in a quick moment here for the Brewmaster. He does pick it up. It is on the way now. We'll see Ace posturing up underneath the tree line in the Radiant jungle, and it looks like Rise is going to rotate out of this lane. Him being melee, he doesn't really have much to offer, unfortunately, in this lane, and he will pick up the Bounty Rune bottom lane, and we will see rotations to the mid from Pilot Eye. He's got a double damage rune. Magic Missile going to go into a Rise. Wave of Terror as well. Fata will not be able to get in range for that clap, unfortunately. So Pilot Eye going a bit early perhaps, but really had no choice as Arise was already privy to the fact that he was rotating in there and rotated over towards the tower. So just not enough of a stun duration there, but Pilot Eye will be able to zone Arise out of experience range, presumably here. He will rotate back in towards as Pilot Eye goes back up the hill, but he's just clearing up here and perhaps posturing up to go again. Ignite out onto Owie. They won't have enough to chase him down here, it doesn't seem. He is ticking down, and actually the Radiant Creep Wave going to block him up for a second. He's going to get hit with a Fire Blast, but he'll be just fine. He does not have a Salve, unfortunately, but does have 4 Tangos. And that should be just fine for him. Bone 7 opting to max the Overwhelming Odds. Very strong early on, of course, and is always maxed in a laning LC. Of course, jungling Legion Commander, we saw quite a bit when he came out. Dagger going to go out onto Pilot Die, but he'll be just fine. And actually, Hani going to have to retreat into the trees here for fear of that Magic Missile. Sitting at level 4 is Fata in the mid, 21-5 up against the 14-1 of Arise. This should be about the time with 2 levels up in Witchcraft that Arise starts to catch up a bit in this lane. But regardless, Fata doing extremely well, maxing out the Clap and Drunken Brawler as we often see. He's actually holding on to 1 skill point here. Actually, he's got it in stats, so interesting build from him. Frostbite goes out onto Pilot Eye. He's going to Wave of Terror. He's going to get hit with a dagger as well. He's going to have to put a Magic Missile into Hani, but he'll get clicked down from Hani. Actually, the dispersion damage is going to be what kills him off there after that right click. So Ogre going to go down in the bot lane. Ogre actually going to find Owie in the bot lane, I should say, in the meantime. So 2 kills going the way of Fnatic early on here across the map. EE able to pick up a Bounty Rune here in the meantime as Owie was gone on, so they must have noticed him missing from the lane. And Fata going to find some last hits with his Thunderclap in the mid. Sitting on a Regen Rune is him here with a Primal Split. So we'll see if he looks to rotate and do something. Owie is in the top lane. Grave Chill going to come out onto Hani here. Overwhelming Odds as well. Do they have Pilot Eye rotating in? They do not. Pilot Eye actually bottom Soul Assumption. Not going to be quite enough damage to finish off Hani here. And Owie going to have to regen up. But they will probably go back in on Hani soon. He's got no regen, and he has nothing to be pooled to him. In fact, he's bringing over Tangos now. Bone 7 can go with an Overwhelming Odds and a Soul Assumption, and they can kill off Hani here. So we'll just take a look at this. Actually, split committed mid lane, and Arise going to die here to Fata, who's chasing him down. The Immolation from the Brewlings should be enough. He even uses the Windwalk attack. And free kill, solo kill for Fata. Good use of the split. And meanwhile, in the top lane, they go in. Hani is going to be cleaned up with a Soul Assumption from Owie. Press the attack going to be used for Bone 7 to get out. Hani cleaned up in the tree line 2-0, going the way of Cloud9 across the map. So well played by them. TP's back in the mid lane from Arise here. Rise rotating around in the jungle. EE is actually back in base at the current moment. Not sure why. Picks up an early Bassi and a Circlet, so he's going to look to go into a Wraithband. Perhaps he retreats into the jungle at this point. But regardless, Fata doing really well in the mid. Quite the opposite story of the game versus Secret, where he was doing extremely poorly. So he'll be effective mid-game here. Rai's going to look to either creep cut or flank Pylai Die here. But he only has a second or two, and he will go in with the Fire Blast. Ignite as well. Firefly over Pylai Die. He's going to Magic Missile Ace. Hope the tower aggro helps him out. Even Wave of Terror, but it won't be enough here. And EE being absent from this lane has caused 2 deaths on his support so far. 1 on Aoi, 1 on Pylai Die. So 3 for 2 is the score, 6.5 minutes into the game. Take a look at the net worth chart. Fata leading, no surprise there. Eternal Envy is pretty poor. Of course, the early game of this Terrorblade has been hindered quite a bit. Overwhelming odds already used on Hani, as well as he was out of vision for the Soul Assumption here. So Hani taking a lot of aggression in this top lane. Arise is here, doesn't have his Exorcism up though. 303 build for him. We'll probably go 3041 as we see a lot of Death Prophets do. Certainly granted, but he can't do much without that Exorcism at this point. EE gonna Metamorph and retreat into the jungle here. He will find a camp of Alpha Wolves and we'll find some farm in that way. Pylai Die rotating in the mid. He's going to be scouted out by the creeps though, and Arise will get back in due time. So inopportune time for Pylai Die to rotate in there. Unfortunately, EE going to find some farm here. He's only at 18 and 4, but with 3 levels up in the Metamorphosis and 2 in Conjure Image, he'll be just fine to start finding his levels. Will hit level 6 here. Probably doesn't level up Sunder. Often we see EE go 404 and then level the Sunder, but we'll see what he chooses to do in this game. He has put another point in Conjure Image, so yeah. Won't level up Sunder yet. Blink does come out for Ace here. Really good Blink timing, and he's going to use that lasso sooner rather than later. Probably can even pick off Pylai Die right now. He's actually going to TP to the top lane. Come With Me is being gone on. Jump in. Lasso is not going to be used. He's just going to Firefly over Aoi and drag Bone 7 back. Nice Soul Assumption by Aoi is going to clean up Come With Me. And the lasso will find them. Perhaps another kill. Fata comes in with the Thunderclap, but he's a little late and not willing to commit the split here, as he would be 1 versus 2 plus any TP rotations possible. So 2 for 1 in the top lane. Come With Me for Aoi and Bone 7. And a nice 600, 700 almost gold swing in the favor of Fnatic. 1,000 experience swing in their favor as well. EE has found some farm mid in the meantime. He's now sitting at 26 CS, respectable over Hani's 22 on the Spectre. So he's been shut down pretty heavily. Does pick up his phase boots finally, so we'll be able to have a little more survivability up against the overwhelming odds and the Grave Chill. But still doing pretty poorly here. Bottle and Treads are already up for Bone 7. He's at 41 CS. Take a look at the net worth chart. He's on 3rd, just under Ace, and Fata is leading pretty handily over most heroes here. Where there is rotations in from Come With Me to go on Bone 7, but he's going to be hit with overwhelming odds as well as Grave Chill. Soul Assumption is going to come out soon from Aoi. One more right click, going to finish him off. Dagger does come out from Hani. Nice press the attack from Bone 7 to keep Aoi up, and Fata even blinking up just a little bit too short for that Thunderclap there. Ace doing some farming in the enemy jungle, looking for EE here, who has actually backed off towards base and does finally pick up his Treads and Aquila on this Terrorblade. So EE gonna recover here, sitting at 2,900 net worth, just under Arise's Death Prophet, who has caught up in the mid as I mentioned, as he got his levels up and as Fata rotated out towards the top lane. Arise did go for the 3041 build, very common build for this Death Prophet here. Does have a pretty potent level 1 Exorcism with those 4 levels in Witchcraft. So also more spam ability on the Crypt Swarm. For those of you that don't know, the last level of Crypt Swarm actually does give you 75 damage now after the nerfs. It used to only give 50 damage, so it was really not worth it to build that. Jump in mid lane, clap, primal split. Ace gonna go down quickly. Exorcism is popped here. They're gonna try and chase down EE, but a nice sunder from EE is gonna spell Arise's death. Thrown up in the air is Hani on the Spectre. Does not have enough for dagger. Is gonna be dueled here. Free damage for Bone 7. 3-0 in the mid lane for Cloud9, and they're gonna posture up and look to take this tower. 5 seconds till another image can be spawned for EE. They're gonna take this tower with relative ease here. Overwhelming odds onto the creep wave from Bone 7. Glyph gonna be used, of course, as it is refreshed, and Aoi even finds a kill in the bot lane on Rise's Ogre Magi in the meantime. So 4-0 and a tower going the way of C9, looking really good in this mid game. Split committed there, as well as a double damage rune on Fata, so help them out for sure. Take a look at the net worth. Top 3 now, led by C9, and looking at the KDA, looks pretty grim for the side of Fnatic here. 1 and 2 on the Spectre, 1 and 1 on Ace, having that 8-minute blink dagger. Really, they would have hoped he would have done more with it, but unfortunately that is not the case. So only a Wraithband out. Paladai picks up his Tranquils here.